Many people have sat on this chair and asked you questions about 12 spiritual principles that are used in the anonymous groups. When you had a dialogue with Wayne Dyer, he mentioned ancient texts like the Bhagavad Gita, etc. And you said to Dr. Dyer, why don't you bring in leading edge insights into these ancient texts, or something to that effect?
Why don't you translate the vibration that you now are, that has gone far, far, far from that, and realize it into something that's meaningful today? Why dig up that stuff that is not relevant to you? Correct.
I'd like to share some leading edge Abraham-inspired insights into those 12 principles. May I do that?
Yes.
Then you can have your way with me, and it'll be fun. Because I believe that these principles have to be brought into a new leading edge understanding. I'm excited about this.
We believe that they cannot help but be. We believe that, we know that it's happening on an individual basis. We'll play your game. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. And it's happening in the Abraham community because we have those meetings aboard the cruise ships, and we've created a secret group on Facebook, and we are evolving a whole new understanding inspired by you. You are the inspiration of all of us. Okay. Number one, the entire program is designed for higher powered living. It's all about that alignment to flow that power and illuminate your whole life. Step one, that pinched off person, that ornery person, has an unmanageable life because they're on the lower end of the emotional guidance scale. They're a little pinched off from source, and life is unmanageable, and they are in a state of powerlessness. That is step one. Perfect agreement with Abraham. Step two, I come to believe that my higher being...
Well, we would like to add something to that.
Yes.
And that is, when you assign them as powerless because they're not where they want to be, you are focused upon a condition that's going to hold them there longer.
But they shoot rockets of desire and move into a whole new life.
Well, let's get there quick.
Yeah, okay. Step two. Step two. I come to believe that my inner being will restore me to wellness.
We would like to say that your inner being is constantly doing that, because that's what this vibration is.
Correct.
But you got to be in the receptive mode before you get any of it. And so just knowing that that's there, but add to that, and maybe that's step later, but knowing that allows you to translate it right now.
Yes.
Yes.
So I like this dance we have going on. Step number three. I turn my will and my life over to that higher being through alignment. I want every decision to be an inspired decision, every action to be an inspired action.
We would say that a little differently. We would say, I align to my broader knowing. Because when you say, I turn my will over to something else, right, it puts you in a place that you are counting yourself as powerless, and you are not. So I use my power to align with source.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Say
yeah.
it there.
That's how. Okay. We're getting 4 and 5. It's a cleansing, an elimination of stuff that got in the way of that alignment. We want alignment above everything. Alignment trumps everything. So a lot of stuff is going to fall by the wayside. We just want that nice, pure, daily connection with infinite intelligence.
So let's not call it cleansing, because that focuses on the muck. Let's call it follow the path of least resistance to who we really are.
Absolutely.
So steps 4 and 5 are therefore what?
Absolutely.
What are they then?
They're the step of greater allowance, of optimal allowance, of allowing the fullness of who I am.
So step 4 and 5 is more emphasis on the receptive mode. More emphasis on the receptive mode. Less attention to condition that I'm tripping over, that I need to cleanse myself from, but I can't really cleanse myself from anything that I'm giving my attention to. In fact, I'm getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into it.
But I give my attention to being a better receptor of that infinite intelligence. And my life revolves around becoming a better receiving instrument of that.
And I do that how?
Through alignment.
But in practical terms? By caring about how I feel, and by recognizing that the way I feel is my indication of where I am, and by accepting that where I am is okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Because a condemnation of where I am is the most unproductive activity that I could ever do. Looking at something that needs to be cleansed is the most unproductive moment in time that I ever spent.
And the freedom that comes from that, The freedom that comes from that process is one of the greatest high-flying
The freedom that comes from releasing resistance that is the only thing that binds me feels really good. Yeah.
It's good to play with the language, but
we agree. It's good to find language that supports the vibrational integrity.
Yes, it's so much fun. I am enjoying this. I had the nerve to do this, and I'm enjoying it. 6 and 7. I don't like the phrase character defects, but that's negative emotion, and it guides me. It guides.
What is it? 6
character
and 7?
defects.
Say it again.
Character defects. So, okay. Now, let me explain. Negative emotion is my best ally, you have said. The character defects equal negative emotion. They're synonymous to negative emotion. It's my best ally.
This is really something to talk about. The reason that anyone who's not in alignment with who they are and therefore is wanting to move through these 12 steps to alignment, the primary reason that they're not already right there where they want to be is because of self-negative introspection.
Absolutely.
So you're wanting to use words that don't amplify the way they already feel. There is this misunderstanding that since where I am is not really where I want to be, then I'm in the wrong place, and that just isn't true any more than Esther, when she's at mile marker 5:30, is in the wrong place because she's not really where she wants to be. She's in the right place on her way to where she's going, not in the wrong place because she's not already there.
Correct. Contrast and negative emotion are guidance, and when I embrace them as
Call
that.
it current state of being or something, anything other than character defects.
I don't like the phrase.
There aren't any character defects. You see, every single one of you is experiencing, by these terms, a character defect every time you launch a rocket that you haven't translated into something yet. By these standards, anything that's not already up to speed with the rocket you just launched means that you're defective in some way. You cannot hold that thought. You are not defective. You're on your way, on your way, on your way, on your way. It doesn't matter how far from where you want to be you are still in no way defective. You're just on your way.
I love how you have your way with me. Now you're really going to chew me up on 8 or 9, but it's fine. Yes. I'm having huge fun. So 8 and 9, and I know what you've said about making amends, and I very much agree with you. So this is how I see 8 and 9. I have a vibrational mix. You used to use that phrase years ago, a vibrational mix, and relationships are forever. So I need to mend all my relationships with former employers, former people in my life, and B,
I do that by right now striking a pose that's in vibrational alignment with who I really am, because in doing so I become a different point of attraction, and every relationship that ever existed changes in this moment. So I do it vibrationally. But if I go back and talk to them, I will talk myself into the vibration that I just recovered from.
Correct. Great minds think alike. I love it. The 11th step is really the crux. The 11th step is the step of alignment. And it's the step that leads to the fullness of who I am, the path of most allowance, and a higher powered life. That's the culmination of everything. When I am in that blended being that you talked about in the new beginning. When I am in that alignment that trumps everything.
What if, in my awareness, there will always be a vibrational version of me that's preceding what I've allowed myself to realize, because life keeps happening and I keep asking and I continue to become, and vibration precedes all manifestation. So what if, since the vibrational version of me is always out there and I am always standing in relationship to it, what if I'm always in the perfect place?
And at my very best.
But here's the crux of all of this. This is what makes any of this work or not work. Here's the crux of this. How do I feel about me right now in relationship to where I'm going? Do I feel eagerness? I'm not there yet. I haven't realized it yet. But how do I feel about the expansion that I'm moving in the direction of? Am I anticipating it? Am I eager, or am I guilty about where I stand? In other words, too much introspection makes you condemn yourself for not having moved faster, or for the mistakes you've made along the way, when the truth of it is you've made no mistakes along the way, because who you have become could not even exist if it were not for the so-called mistakes you made along the way. This vortex version of you would not even be a vibrational reality if you had not allowed yourself to live those things.
They're just stepping stones to a happier life. That's
well,
all.
we're just wanting to guide your verbiage a little bit, because you're bringing more of what everybody already thinks into this new vibrational understanding. And part of it is because you're wanting to build a bridge. But that's what always messes up the leading edge. That's why science moves forward so slowly. Oh, we have to get all these scientists that have put all this energy into all of this understanding. We have to bring them to the place that they then get what we get. And we say, and in doing so, you're going to slow yourself way, 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 way down. You see, don't work too hard on your bridges.
I feel uplifted.
What's step 12?
A higher powered life isn't a very uplifted life, the way I experience
Feels
it.
good, doesn't it? And does it feel good every step along the way?
It feels better and better.
Does a higher powered life feel good when you're in step 1?
No. It feels good when I'm in alignment.
Well, you got to find a way to make it feel good when you're in step 1. And good is a relative thing, isn't it? Good in relationship to what? Good in relationship to how I felt.
Better and better and better and better and better.
And who's taking score of this? Only me. That's the problem with trying to structure something and get everybody to look at it. Nobody's standing in the same place in relationship to anything. These are the steps that we would offer if we were offering something new about all of this. So here's the way we would do it. It'll be easy for you to hear this because you've stayed with us as this day has evolved. And the wonderful things that we've been talking about here are still active in your vibration. So this will be really easy for you to hear. So step 1, I am where I am, and it's okay. Step 2, where I am has helped me carve out something that I like even more, and I'm looking forward to that. Step 3, my emotional guidance system lets me know where I am vibrationally in relationship to what I'm allowing myself to receive right now and all that I've really become. Step 4, my source stands as the expanded version of me and is calling me forward all the time. Step 5, that vibrational version of me is taking a stronger, more predominant role in the vibration of me. I'm more aware of that part of me as days go by. I can feel the very expansion of my being, which is my reason for being. I stand in never-ending appreciation of the others who help me to carve out my specific expansion. I realize that I cannot get it wrong, and I never get it done, and I like that. That's why I am eternal. I feel the adoration of the source within me, not about where I will one day be, but about where I be right here, right now. Every step along my path, I now realize I have been worthy. And in this final acceptance of my worthiness, all things open for me. Freedom is my ultimate state of being. Freedom from the bondage that I have been applying by my attention to the unwanted aspects of myself, which have always and only ever been an illusion that I have placed there. Now, think about all of that attention, that wonderful attention that you and your friends have been applying, that created the basis for that further stated awareness, and feel how everyone in this room went right there. You say, those are steps worth taking, aren't they?
Yeah.